This thing's got a glitch. Alright, my name is James Williams Jr. This is Kung-Fu Havoc 2. I'll talk to y'all about some strange gems for comics. I'm gonna do it standing up so that I won't fall asleep. Okay, and so you guys don't get a close-up of my face like you always do. So from a different angle besides the fact that I drew this dragon, I want to talk to y'all about some strange gems. So we're gonna start with DC first. And hopefully I won't make this more than 15 minutes. In DC Comics, like all comics, no one can really copyright a name, alright? So in DC Comics, one of the strange gems I found was a Scalp Hunter. Now, yes, Marvel does have a Scalp Hunter too. He's a bad guy. Can't really tell you if he's Native American or not, but this guy's Native American. So I've been doing like lots of trying to find these things, and I found this one, so I was happy to drop a line. I didn't really read it all the way through, but I read it. He's a Native American from the Kiowa tribe. Not my people, but, you know, still Native Americans. Alright, another strange gem, because I was a big fan of Bucky O'Hare, and I do have the comic, I just don't know where it is, and if it's Marvel or if it's DC. But DC has this crazy-ass comic called Captain Carrot. Freaked me out. Haven't read all the way through. Got all the sagas. Gonna get to it sometime before the end of this millennium. But, it's, some really odd animals, superheroes. You know, it's crazy. It's a strange gem, like I said. Now, the other night, I blogged about how DC has Hercules and Marvel has Hercules. So, like I said, you can't really like copyright a guy, but somehow another DC doesn't have a Thor, but Marvel has Hercules and Thor, but DC doesn't have a Thor. So, like I said, another strange gem. You know, this Hercules is clean-faced for DC, and Marvel's Hercules looks more like the Lou Ferrigno. You know, because Marvel has a lot of comic books that are made into movies, or movies made into comic books, I should say. But if you want to check out some strange stuff, Captain Carrot is definitely for you. And, yeah, just thought I'd give y'all that strange thing there. And, another strange gem is Marvel Comics Presents, where you have Shazam, you have the Phantom Zone, you know, things that DC has, which were strange gems that I really didn't understand or didn't know about until like I really started digging into these things, you know. So, as I was saying, you know, there's a lot of different strange gems out there, and that is this section of strange gems for DC. Now, I'm gonna get some strange gems from Marvel, which I found kind of funny, you know. Oh yeah, before I do that, the last strange gem was Challengers of the Unknown. I haven't read it all the way through because I couldn't find the first issue, and this is issue 82, so I still have to find the first issue, because, you know, you just dive into the middle of a comic, you don't know anybody. And the same thing with Marvel's Side Force. I only have the second issue, so I have to find the first issue so I know who the hell the characters are. You know, now leaving DC and going to Marvel, my question for Disney XD, because apparently Squadron Supreme weren't originally bad guys. They were good guys. And there's Hyperion. He's actually in the Squadron Supreme. It's like when I first seen him fighting, I was like, hold on. First off, Hyperion shouldn't be stronger than Thor, and secondly, isn't Hyperion a good guy? Well, clearly he was a good guy at one time, and I guess they changed it up. It must have happened when I stopped reading comic books, you know. And there's a lot of independent gems, like Eclipse Comics Nightmares. I'm just starting this, and first Jonah Hex revamped as just Hex when you took him into the future. It's a strange gem. It's a DC comic. Still trying to get used to Solomon Kane, but Epic Comics, which is technically Marvel, did one on Coyote. I'm believing they're going after the Coyote, the Trickster legend, but I'm really not sure because, again, this isn't the first issue. This is like the third issue, so I have to go backwards and try to find the first issue. So, now, since we're on some strange gems and we're leaving DC, at least I think we're leaving DC, I want to talk about Marvel's Weird World. That's one of those other things you kind of gotta go to the first issue. This is issue 38, so you can tell that I still have to hunt for a few things. They used to do 2-in-1s and Thing and Man Thing. You know, Thing had a lot of these 2-in-1s. There wasn't too many people he came up with. Back to DC, Infinity Inc. They were pretty good. I get confused to find out if Helix is good or if they're bad. And if they're bad, I still like them. Mostly I love the little Chinese girl. I can't remember her name, but no, she's cool. She's badass. And for Marvel, again, I touched on this the other night when I showed him. I haven't read them all the way through. But Wally the Wizard is a strange gem. I'm not sure if he's actually for me because I haven't read it all the way through. I just took a piercing glance, you know. I know he's a wizard. That's pretty much the gist of it. I don't know what his powers contain because I haven't read it all the way through. But I intend to do. Now, some really strange gems. I've never heard of them, so I haven't read them. We got a knockoff of Richie Rich, which is Royal Roy. Never heard of him. No. I like to call myself a comic book connoisseur, but I've never heard of him. So whenever he came out, I was either really young or he just really didn't appeal to me. So I never even took another check at him. Planetary, he actually had a cartoon. I don't know if it was like the comic book, and I don't know if he came first or the comic book came first, but there's the first 2 issues. I haven't read them. I intend to. Don't worry, I probably won't give you a follow-up because I'll probably forget to later put this video up. But the strangest one for Marvel, which is, it's under Star Comics, but it's Marvel. It's written right there, Marvel, was Top Dog. Haven't read it. I read at it. It's about a talking dog is the best I can give you. And I'm like, okay. I'll have to read it to see what I like about it or whatever. Now, if I may get your attention, I have a Pope John Paul from Marvel. I think I put it in the box that left downstairs. But they also have a Mother Teresa from Marvel. No, I haven't read any of them. I'm a very spiritual person, and I do believe in God, and some things I think that you probably should just leave the fuck alone. So, knowing that, I will read it, and I will read the John Paul one, but I'm probably never going to bring that shit back up. So, you've seen my strange gems. I didn't want to get too in-depth on it, because I have a lot of other things that I want to talk about. So, before I go too deep, I want to shock the world about some stuff. Or at least I want to shock some of you comic book fans about some stuff. Because one of the main reasons I stopped reading comic books, I'm about to show you her in a second. Because it really threw the Marvel world upside down. So for those who are Marvel fans, I mean, it messed me up. I'm not going to say it messed up everybody, but it messed me up. So, this is the Scarlet Witch and Vision mini-series, or 12-issue limited series. I don't know exactly how many I have, but for the record, if you can read that, birth, they have 4 kids. So when Marvel made them lose the other kid and sent Scarlet Witch over the edge, I'm like, okay, but they already had 4 kids. So she's going to screw up the whole world because she lost one. I understand the pain of losing. My mom had a miscarriage or 2. People I know have had a miscarriage or 2. And, you know, as a man, they can't really explain it to us because as men, uh-oh, that's not good. I don't know what happened. As a man, as I was saying, we don't know what it feels like to have a baby growing in us. All right, so we can only... Oh, shit. The hell is going on here? We can only improvise. Well, I mean, emphasize. I'm going to shut down and do a part 2 of this.